Let's keep 1 million. Show him Dwayne.
Sean P.
And it is July 3rd, 2025.
Yes, sir.
90.7 FM. Thanks everybody for listening. And we're smacked in the middle of the NBA offseason with a whole lot going on with free agency.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of player movement. One
Yes,
of the
sir.
big movements wasn't even an addition; it was a subtraction. As Damian Lillard is waived by the Bucks in a surprising move to bring in Miles Turner from Indiana, and Damian Lillard and his team are elated. They're excited about this because he gets to keep all his money.
Yeah, yeah.
Over 5 years, $22 million a year from the Bucks, and still sign with the team he wants to. And I just seen a report that he most likely was going to sign with a team this offseason and still be able to rehab and stay in Portland. That's where he lives. His family's there. I mean, did you see this coming?
No, I didn't. I didn't see this coming at all. Actually, I mean, this is great for Dame. I mean, it works out for Dame. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I'm just curious to see who he signs with. It's going to be a contender. So if people are thinking he might sign with Portland again, it's not going to be Portland. It's going to be a contender. So it's a lot of teams out there that contender teams out there that can use him. I mean, you got San Antonio.
Yeah, I think he's going to go to a contender.
Yeah.
Possibly in the West Coast.
Possibly.
Close to his feet. He's the type he wants to be close to his family.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure what team, but still, I mean, he could go to a team for a veterans minimum. He still get paid.
And he'll still be getting that contract, though, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing is, just depending on what team has a spot, I would say Clippers, the Lakers, Sacramento, Golden State. Well, not Golden State necessarily because they already have two guards. They just picked up, with Jimmy Butler.
No, they don't need Dame. Dame.
It could be East Coast team. I would say depending on, how is the roster and their trajectory. But yeah, San Antonio sounds good. What team do you think it'd be best fit for him?
I mean, he could. I can see him. No, not the Lakers. He'll be a spot up shooter out there. I mean, San Antonio is really good. That could be a real good spot for him. I was about to say Houston, but I don't know about that. I'm trying to think of a team where he could be the main, the main.
Well, that's the thing.
Main guy.
I don't think he will be the.
No, well, not the main guy, but like him and Giannis wasn't a bad thing because that was a big man and a guard. Like he go to another team with a guard, it's just.
Well, here's the thing: it's his injury. Torn Achilles. When they come back, it's not a lot of people come back that great. So I'm thinking he could possibly come back.
Kobe came back.
I would think possibly coming back as a backup, playing not because he's gonna miss all the next season.
He's going on the next season. Him, Tatum, and Halliburton, they're not coming back next season.
Right. So let's say he comes back. 2026, 2027, a team that would, I wouldn't say need him, but a team that can use him, it could be someone like Denver, how they use Westbrook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a team like Memphis that can use a lot of veteran leadership.
You know what? Memphis wouldn't be bad.
You know,
if he wanted to sign with Memphis.
right?
Because a lot of these guys don't want to sign with Memphis. You know, that wouldn't be bad. Yeah, you're right. I'm thinking of teams that that have a chance to win.
Yeah.
So, what about the Clips?
I would say the Clippers. Yeah,
The
that
Clippers
may be the best team for him.
Yeah.
With James Harden, he come off the bench for James Harden,
Mm-hmm.
Kawhi Leonard, and that group. I mean, yeah, that I would say the Clippers would be the best bet for him. He's right, you know, a plane ride away to his family, unless he would move. I don't think he would move his family from Portland where they are, but it's so much closer. And I think that's what most likely in the works is what team would be best fit for him and his family versus, you know, being traded. But let's just move off from that and look at the Bucks now, because they look in disarray. Speaking of, Brook Lopez went to the Clippers in free agency.
Oh, he did? Oh, okay.
So, you have Brook Lopez is gone. Cunningham is gone. You bring in Miles Turner. You have Kyle Kuzma. And that's really it.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Because you're trying to do all these things to keep Giannis. And there's reports Giannis is upset about the, you know, Dame situation. Maybe he's mad or whatever. They didn't keep him. They waived him. The thing is Giannis going to stay? Because this team right now constructed is not a playoff team. I know the East is kind of lacking right now with all these injuries of these, you know, star players. And they don't have a guard, a star guard. They don't have someone that can control the ball and dish. And you have a center, a power forward that are, the center's really good in Miles Turner. The power forward is a great player. And that's it. Kyle Kuzma's not a star guard. I mean, you know, we bring in CP3 maybe, but how long does he have left in the tank? So I don't know what the Bucks are doing.
I was thinking if Portland waived Drew Holiday, have Drew come back. But what I've been reading is that Portland's not going to waive him.
They're going to keep him.
They're going to keep him.
Right.
And he's not. I've heard rumors that he's not necessarily happy about this move. Doesn't really want to be out there. You know, I mean, because you got to understand who he is. He's coming off a championship pedigree. He has 2 rings.
Yeah.
He's coming off that championship pedigree, and he's going somewhere where pretty much a lot of players go to die. You know, so it's Portland. They're good in stretches, but when they're bad, they're bad. You know, so because no free agents want to go there, so they have to build up through trades and drafts, and it's tough. I mean, I know Presti has done it, but not everybody's saying Presti. So
right.
I don't know. Like, are they going to deal Giannis? Because Giannis is not happy. Even though he did get a ring a few years ago, still, you know, great players want to be great all the time. So, you know.
No, you're absolutely right. And, yeah, I think he's stuck over there. I don't think that's going to happen, him going anywhere else or back to Milwaukee. Now, a team that did do some good things is Houston. they got Clint Capella.
Yeah.
They brought in Kevin Durant. They brought in a couple other players, and they look like the team that can contend against Oklahoma City. You know, with them winning the championship, what other team on the West can contend with them, especially how this free agency went?
You know, I never like to count Denver out, especially did they trade? Because I've been reading rumors about them wanting to trade Michael Porter Jr. So I've been hearing.
Oh
rumors.
no, he did get traded.
Yeah, he did get traded. Okay,
They
they
got
don't want.
traded for Cam Johnson.
Okay, yeah.
So
All right.
Cam Johnson from Brooklyn, he went to Brooklyn.
Okay. So then they still got of course they still got the Joker, and they still got Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Hold on, did Westbrook roll? Did he?
I think he's a free agent right now.
Free agent right now? Okay.
I don't think anybody picked him up yet.
All right. So I don't really like to count Denver out, but who I'm looking at next year, I'm looking at 3 teams. I'm looking at in the West. I'm looking at the Los Angeles Clippers, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Houston Rockets. So 3 teams I'm looking at, barring no injuries. Those are 3 teams I'm looking at right there. You know, it's just James Harden has to get out his own way. He ought to stop having bad games or no-show games in crucial moments.
Right.
That's just not a good look. And we're going to talk about that later, about legacies and all that. But that's just not a good look. So, those are 3 teams out east that I'm gonna be looking at, especially if the Clippers pick up Dame. Really be looking at the Clips. And out east is it's almost like any man's game because Boston is taking an off year. They're not going to be bad, but I don't think they're going to be championship form because Tatum's going to be down for a year. He's going to be down all next year. So you got a lot of movement out there. You're looking at the Knicks.
Right.
You just got a new head coach in Mike Brown. So.
Yeah, and Houston also signed Dorian Finney-Smith.
Okay. Nice pickup.
Yeah, and also Dallas signed D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Deal as well.
Yeah, I saw that. Pick up D'Lo. Picked him up because Kyrie, waiting for Kyrie to come back off that knee.
Right. And also we talked about the Knicks. The Knicks picked up Jordan Clarkson.
Okay.
From Utah.
Yeah,
he was a free agent, so that's a really good,
nice solid pickup.
And I can't pronounce this guy's name, but the guy that dunked on LeBron in the Olympics.
Oh yeah, he played for Philly last season. Yeah.
Well, now the Knicks picked him up.
All right.
Yeah.
I really wanted Philly to keep.
Good.
I really wanted Philly to keep that dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder is on another team. He's going to Sacramento on a 3-year deal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So, those some major moves there. Mike Brown, as you said, he's going to be the next Knicks coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's not finalized, as of yet, but that is the reports, and his pedigree is very good. He's was the coach here at Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
He won championships as an assistant with San Antonio and Golden State.
Yeah.
He coached with Cleveland, making it to the finals. And he's one of those coaches that can handle star players. So, and use the bench, and since the Knicks actually grab some good players for their bench, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Knicks, how they progress throughout the season next season. This, I guess it's big news, and I don't understand why, but, DeAndre Ayton, he gets signed by the Lakers.
Yeah.
And they still keep Jackson Hayes. He just signed.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to keep LeBron James there? Because, he did opt in to the $52 million, of course. Why wouldn't you? but his team is saying they're monitoring closely the Lakers' moves. You know, after this new ownership comes in, and you know, people are talking about maybe they're making moves to not push LeBron out, but to go for the future, which they should, is make moves for the future, build around Luka Doncic. I definitely don't see this as a championship team, but is this LeBron's last season, or does he get, in the middle of the season, gets traded to another team? What do you think before we go to break?
He's staying with the Lakers.
Right.
Staying with the Lakers, man. Come on now. Ain't nobody picking up that contract. Well, no contender.
No, he'll keep the contract. The Lakers will pay him, but you trade for another player or whatever. But I don't think he'll get traded.
No.
Maybe he'll stay with the Lakers for one, maybe 2 more seasons. But we'll see what happens. You see how that happened with Kobe.
Yeah.
At the end of his career,
It didn't work too well.
no, it did not. So I think the real issue with the Lakers is Luka Doncic and how he's going to progress and develop again. Since he was, he's a top player, but he needs to get in shape. So it's all about that. And then the DeAndre Ayton thing, I think he's going to be just a bench player. I'm not sure why people are saying that. This is a big deal. Okay, he's a former number 1 pick, but what has he done the past 2-3 seasons? Not much. He hasn't done much. So, but we're gonna come right back with more Keep 1 Million show. Keep it locked right here on 90.7 FM, KRDP.
Yes, sir.
Services on the radio than larger companies. KRDP offers business sponsorship packages for a variety of budgets and is seeking sponsors to help support the station and its programming. If your local business is interested in reaching the KRDP listening audience and individual donor community, please contact 602-254-6636 or visit our website at KRDP.com. Click on the sponsorship button at the top of the menu and then on Become a Business Sponsor from the drop-down menu. Thanks for your support, KRDP.
It's the Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
And, free agency, NBA free agency. Lots been going on with NBA free agency. What do you think what was the biggest move you've seen in free agency so far?
KD.
Well, of course, KD.
KD, yeah.
Yeah,
That was the big. But besides that, Dame Lillard, the next one, Dame, and the rest of them were pretty much like solid moves and everything. But I just didn't, like we said in the last segment, I didn't expect that to happen with Dame. I just didn't expect it, and now he could pretty much go anywhere he wants to go. And Milwaukee really gets nothing out of it. But Dame, of course, and we just talked about LeBron opting in. Like, where would he go? He has a no trade clause in his contract, so which is, to me, he's the only player that deserves a no trade clause.
Right.
Like Bradley Beal, what they call Bradley Beal, Brad? So they call him the Bobby Bonilla of basketball. Like it's just insane. They can't do anything with him, man. Like they just gotta deal with it. But it was something interesting that somebody said that the Knicks will be a great place for LeBron. Like LeBron avoided. They said he avoided New York. Like I guess he avoided the New York media. You know how the media is in New York and everything. So he avoided New York, whereas Carmelo embraced it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Carmelo he He was different though. He's from there, so
From the area.
from there.
Right? From the DMV.
Well, he's from Baltimore,
Mhm.
but they bill him as he was born in
Yeah.
Brooklyn, Real Hook, and all that, and then he moved down to Baltimore, and everything. But still, Carmelo embraced New York. He played there. He played hard there. Like they consider him one of the greatest Knicks to ever do it. So they talked about LeBron going there and how he would affect that team and have that team be a championship team. But LeBron would make any team a championship team. Honestly, I mean, anywhere he went, he will make that. But I don't foresee LeBron going anywhere. I believe he's going to retire a Laker. I say just one more year, and then let this go. Let this go because he's handcuffing that franchise. Man. Like let it be about Luka. You're not going to win another championship. Not in Los Angeles. Not with the Lakers. And if you do win another championship, you're only going to get one more. It'll be 5, and you'll be tied with Kobe, and you're never going to catch Mike. You're not catching him. So,
Right.
But what about you? What
No,
free
I see-
agents?
I'm looking at obviously Houston.
Mm-hmm.
That's the big winner. They got a lot of pieces. Clint Capella.
They
Dorian
could-
Finney-Smith.
They could do it next year,
They
man.
got, yeah.
And
yeah.
they got to keep Van Fleet.
You're right. They re-signed him. They re-signed their coach.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they really added a lot of pieces there. The other team I'm looking at is Denver. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
Denver. They got Cam Johnson with the trade from
Mhm.
Michael Porter Jr.
Yes.
He's a really good scorer. They went and grabbed Valanciunas,
Mm-hmm.
and then they also grabbed Tim Hardaway Jr.
Oh, they got Tim. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a pretty good 3-point shooter, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
36%. And
I'd like to see him
and
get that a little
basically-
higher,
Right.
than that. But okay.
Right, that's basically, and they also brought back Bruce Brown.
Okay.
Remember, he left to go to, if I'm not mistaken, either Indy, right? Remember after the championship,
Mm-hmm.
he was that key defensive player that everybody loved, and he went for the money, ended up getting stuck over, I think, in Toronto, and now they brought him back.
Mm-hmm.
So they add some really, really nice pieces: Valanciunas, Tim Hardaway Jr., Braun, and Cam Johnson. Some scorers, defensive help for Jokic.
They're not resigning Westbrook.
No, I don't think so.
Nah, 'cause Tim Hardaway Jr. Yeah,
Right, exactly.
They got
Also,
they got a younger.
right, and also the Hawks. The Hawks added a
Oh,
lot of players.
ooh.
Kristaps Porzingis.
I forgot about that. Yeah, Porzingis.
They added Nikola Alexander Walker.
Mm-hmm.
They added Luke Kennard.
Mm-hmm. Yo, people underestimating that Hawks. If they stay healthy, Porzingis with Trae Young, that pick and pop,
Yeah.
it's gonna be crazy,
They
man.
have some real good players.
Be crazy.
The thing is, if they don't get to the playoffs, or get to the playoffs and get out the first round, it may be time for Trae Young to go.
Maybe.
If he's not a leader, then that's exactly what I said with the Suns. And I think with the Suns, with the moves they made, it's all on Devin Booker. So if they don't do anything, at least make the playoffs, then they're gonna have to look at, well, maybe it's Devin Booker, right?
No, yeah, they'll say that. But if I was Book, I would just roll. Like keep Bradley Beal, keep him. Y'all can't do that with it. Keep him.
Right. Also, the Lakers, with the moves they made.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the DeAndre Ayton thing to me is terrible.
Hey, he's a big body, man. He's a big body. Defend the paint, defend the rim. I mean, I don't think they asking much from him. They're not asking him to give him 30 a game. If he give us 12, couple block shots, some rebounds,
Mm.
they'd be alright.
Right. Well, that's your, you know, the major moves
Mm-hmm.
in NBA free agency. There's a lot of, you know, smaller moves there. The Miles Turner to the Bucks. You know, I don't, like we said, how that's going to work for the Bucks is a telltale sign of what's going to happen with Giannis, and if Giannis, you know, stays or goes. He has 1 year left on his contract, so let's say they don't do much next season, and they don't trade him to get something back, he may walk. And I think that's a horrible move. That's why everyone's talking about what teams was Giannis gonna go. Like you said, LeBron to the Knicks. Maybe Giannis goes to the Knicks. Maybe he goes to Houston or the Spurs. And those are the, you know, the teams that have been talked up when it comes to Giannis. So that's gonna be all next season. It's gonna be that Giannis watch. Where does he go?
Yeah, at the
You
trade
know,
deadline.
Right, exactly, exactly. Does he team up with Dame Lillard? Because he was upset with that situation, how they let him go. So, you know, we'll see. Now, moving on to other news, NBA is, you know, this big story out of Detroit as Malik Beasley is under investigation for gambling. Now, the thing is, he is under investigation for gambling. What's crazy about the situation is it came to light after all of these lawsuits has been filed against him in the past year. And he was set to have a deal for 3 years, $42 million with Detroit. That's been put off hold.
Oh, of course.
Last year, he only made $6 million last year. That was his, you know, his deal. But he owes a barber shop and a dentist over $60,000. It was Cario Cuts, a Milwaukee barbershop, and Hassan Al-Ashibi, a dentist at Delicate Smiles LLC. He received over $26,000 from the barbershop and over $34,000 from the dentist. Now, were these bookies?
I mean, possibly.
Getting loans from these people, all these
But,
different
but,
loans.
but that's a weird kind of thing to get him from not so much barbershops, because I've known barbershops to get money laundered through them and then have drug dealers backing them and stuff like that. I've known that to happen.
Yeah, you see, they're through their LLC, through their company, right?
Yeah,
so that
and
could be a shell company, right?
Yeah,
or
a dentist though.
you're doing something illegal out of your legal spot.
Yeah.
And what is it that you learned about it, and that you seen what was going on with Malik Beasley, this case?
Well, what you said? What I learned, what I read.
Yeah.
I can't say. I'm not gonna say learned about it. It's what I was viewing and what I've read. It was some weird situations in games. Like, for example, I can't remember who he was playing, but it was the end of the game. They were down. They were losing. They were losing the game, and he got the rebound with seconds left, and he sprinted down the court real fast before the clock ran out and dunked the ball. And it was like, and nobody stopped him because the game was over. He was just like, yo, the players were just looking at him like, yo, what's up with you, man? Like, it's over. And that only struck me as like, okay, he's either trying to get the spread, the spread, or he bet on himself to score a certain amount of points, prop bets. And so I was like, okay, maybe that could be the case. It was one situation in the game where he literally, they thought people say, oh, he's just being lazy on defense, but he just literally, the other guy pointed to him, and the guy with the ball pointed, and the guy with the ball just blew right past him and made the layup. You were just like,
I've seen that video, and there's other videos circulating of him, jumping up but not getting the rebound, not sprinting back on defense, and yeah, it looks like shaving points.
Yeah, that's pretty shady.
It looks like betting on himself, kind of like you said, the other guy who did and got caught. This was also an investigation with Terry Rozier, and that was found. He didn't do it. He had no involvement in that situation, and this just an investigation. He hasn't been charged with anything, but
still not a good look.
This can't happen because now, with this whole situation of the game is rigged, the whole internet conspiracy of the game is rigged, it's like, yeah, it is. All the way back to even before, what was the ref's name?
Tim Donaghy.
Tim Donaghy, right? Even before that, back in the 80s, and we hear about point shaving and the mob coming out in certain documentaries saying, oh yeah, they were shaving points here and they were shaving points in college basketball, and I think there was some player in the NBA they showed that was doing it, shaving points.
They said Connie Hawkins was
Connie Hawkins
is guilty of it. Yeah.
And this has been going on for decades, but now with these gambling sites and these the gambling apps, and I mean this is not a good look because you can do it for fun. But if it's that serious where you get loans from people and that when he was doing all that was more than just, hey, hit me off with a couple thousand and I'll pay you right back when I get paid. No, it would look like he was using this money for gambling purposes and he wasn't recouping the money because he was losing so much. And usually you don't sue. Something else happens to you. You know what I'm saying? So now they're suing, and it looks like a man.
Look. A lot of people wanna talk about this gambling, like, oh, it doesn't have any place in the game, and I say, okay, I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, now you're starting to see the FanDuels, the DraftKings, the MGMs. They are advertising with the NBA and the NFL. So you're like, okay, now this is all legalized gambling. This is not the mob anymore. You have access to this on your phone.
Yeah, exactly.
So what did the NBA and all them think was going to happen when they allowed this? Well, a lot of these podcasts, whether it be Nightcap, whether it be Club Shay Shay, Stephen A. Smith, what's it called? All the Smoke. They're sponsored by DraftKings. Come on, I mean, like, let's stop the hypocrisy, and let you see what's going on.
You might as well just have it to where there's live live bets while watching the game, and if the player's betting, let them bet too. You might as well legalize it 100%.
Well, you see it on on a ticket taker where it's like the over unders and everything.
Right. You might as well legalize it 100,000%.
Now I don't agree with betting on the game that you're playing. I don't agree.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing you can't do.
Let's
say LeBron James is interviewing and say he bet on Halliburton to score 30, and he gets 35,
and he's not playing, and he's not playing in that game.
Right.
He's playing across the country. Oh, that to me that's fine.
Right.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
They're gonna have to do something because now these players are getting caught up legally with doing thing that is quote unquote legal. So it's a weird situation, but hopefully he gets his his stuff together. This guy Malik Beasley, because it looked like he's gonna go under and lose a lot of money. I mean, $42 million on the table is gonna be gone.
And Jonte Porter got banned for life. And
exactly.
Now he was a bench player, but
right, he made this. This may be worse for him being a starter.
Yeah,
he may get banned for life too.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna come back, and we got a real crazy story when we come back about the Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and what happened after that fight. Keep it locked right here. Is the Keep 1 Million show on 90.7 FM KRDB.
Yes, sir.
Are you still haunted by that old love that's hanging around in your driveway? Are the neighbors starting to shake their heads because you just can't let it go? Then it's time to get rid of that old
want to talk about that in
or motorcycle.
the ring culture thing after
after that to KRDP. For more information about KRDP's Cars Donation Program, just call 1-855-500-7433. That's 1-855-500-7433. Thank you in advance.
Keep 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
90.7 FM KRDP. And Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez fight went 10 rounds. Jake Paul wins.
Unanimous decision. I didn't see the fight though, but yeah.
Now he's eligible. Not even eligible. Now he's going to be a ranked fighter out of the WBA. That was the WBA was saying if he wins this fight, he's going to be ranked. The co-main event was the other WBA boxer, the WBA cruiserweight champion. He's a Gabriel. I can't think of his last name right now, but he won his fight, so he's the WBA WBO cruiserweight champion. Jake Paul's eligible to fight Gabriel whenever, since he is the 14th ranked boxer. And here's what's crazy: now he's over a boxer that's 20-0 with 20 knockouts, and another boxer that's 12-0 with 7 knockouts. But I think the main reason why is because they're both going and fighting in heavyweight. So they might have left the division to go to heavyweight, and that one boxer, he won his heavyweight fight via knockout. So we just talked about this, that the cruiserweight looks like it's the purgatory division of boxing, because you can't go down in weight, but if you go up in weight, you may get destroyed by these, huge fighters. And also, cruiserweight is not at all marketed, televised. We talk about heavyweights or the lower classes, the super middleweights, even light heavyweight is not as advertised, but there's some great fighters in light heavyweight. What are your thoughts on that whole cruiserweight division? And are they using? Here's a good question: are they using Jake Paul to, I'll say, resurrect the cruiserweight division?
That's a good question. Cause Jake Paul, he got the fans, he get the numbers. I mean, what's his promotion? Main Event Promotion?
Yeah,
right?
His own promotion company.
His promotion company.
It looks like some of these boxers is going to be up under his promotion company and up under his fight cards.
Yeah, I mean, he's making money. I mean, that's what it's about. I mean, he's making money. As a true boxing fan, do I like it? I'm like, but I can't hate on him and say he's not making money. And he could bring odds to that cruiserweight division, and like you said, that cruiserweight division it's two divisions that were like this. the cruiserweight division because they were too small for heavyweight. So they a lot of times I'm talking about for the elite heavyweights,
Right.
except for like Evander Holyfield was something different because I believe he actually held the cruiserweight
Yeah,
title.
he was a cruiserweight and then he moved up.
Yeah, I believe he held.
He was around 212,
Yeah.
215.
I believe he held the title there, and he moved. But it's very few that do that, and they go up to heavyweight and do their thing in a big way. And the other one is junior welterweight, the 140, the guys at 140. Typically, what happens is you got the 135s that go up. They might be in 140 for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then they go right up to welterweight because that's where the money was at. It was at welterweight, 147. So those were the two, the 140 and the cruiserweights were the two purgatories right there. And it's tough because they can't make the weights a lot of times for the light heavy. So this could be a business move. I mean, he could vitalize the cruiserweight division. But then you're like, all right, what names are there to make money?
Exactly.
So we were talking about this before we came on the air. I would like to see him fight Benavidez or Bivol, something like that. Maybe if you got somebody that's really good in that cruiserweight realm, something right there. But I mean, we'll see because he's working his way up. People said they wanted to see him fight a boxer, and he fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Like, say what you want about him, he's a boxer.
Yeah.
He's a straight boxer. I knew he was going to lose. I haven't seen Chavez Jr. fight. The last fight I saw Chavez Jr. fight was what? Was it Triple G? Years ago? That's the last one I remember.
Right.
Was it Triple G or Canelo? I can't remember. It was one of those two guys. And so then Chavez got his issues. You were just telling me about.
Yeah. So before I go to that, the cruiserweight champions is Gilberto Ramirez, who has the WBO and WBA title, Jai Opekta, and Bandu Jack. So Gilberto Ramirez, who has the WBA title, most likely he's going to end up fighting him for the WBA WBO championship.
Okay.
The cruiserweight, maybe 6 months from now, maybe next year, but I think that's what they're trying to go at. Now, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., very, very interesting situation. So he gets, the next day after the fight, he gets detained by ICE because of his visa is outdated. His workman or tourist visa he has is outdated. He got caught in front of his home in not Calabasas, Studio City, and he lives in Mexico and here in America in Los Angeles. The thing, what's really weird is the fact that he has a warrant for his arrest in Mexico for moving guns for a Mexican cartel, the Sinaloa cartel. He was denied or a green card status for lying on his green card status because he's married to a woman who's the daughter of El Chapo, which is crazy. You know, he got some drug charges. He has some gun charges throughout the past couple of years, 2023, 2024, and now this situation with his visa. Mexico is talking about extraditing him on whatever charges that's going on in Mexico. So I think really this fight was most likely to pay his lawyer fees to fight whatever case he got going on. I mean, it's a wild story, and I didn't know nothing about this for Cesar Chavez Jr. I just think, hey, he's a terrible fighter on his dad's coattails, right?
Yeah.
But I guess he's trying to be a cartel guy. Married to one of the Chapo's daughters and running guns across international lines, not just state lines. He could possibly go up for years especially if he doesn't give up anybody,
Yeah.
man, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean, crazy.
Yeah,
What's going on with him?
Yeah,
I just found this out right earlier before we got on the show.
Yeah, I had seen, but like when I came in and recorded our billboard, I had just got finished recording and I was going through the feed and then that's when I saw it. I was like, oh wow! I was like, had no clue and all that. I was like, man,
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going
First,
on.
when I heard ice, I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, that's I thought it was some old BS.
Right.
I was like, come on, man, let them go home.
It's some BS. It's they're raiding everything
Yeah.
over there in LA.
Yeah.
You know. But
then
it's a lot deeper.
When we got deeper with it, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
exactly.
I was like, okay, they need to investigate this a little bit.
Right. Very insane. But,
Yeah,
I'm
man.
definitely gonna monitor that situation
Yeah.
because he may go up for some years, especially if he doesn't talk.
Oh,
If,
man.
Trying to plea out. If it's in
Yeah.
Mexico, yeah.
He would rather go to prison
Yeah.
here
Right.
than Mexico. So
Exactly.
so he'll get a lot of because those are federal crimes and he'll. Whew.
You don't know what prison you get into some federal crimes in Mexico. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even want to.
No, he'll go here. They'll have him federal. He probably just like you said, if you don't turn informant,
Right.
man, he gonna do some years.
Yeah, exactly. Now, what was the debate you wanted to talk about?
It was the just a legacy debate. Everybody was having this debate about ring culture. When a few weeks ago, LeBron James says too much emphasis on rings, and he brought up the question like, is Steve Nash, because he was talking to Steve Nash about this and on their Mind the Game platform. And he was saying Steve Nash is not any less of a player because he doesn't have any rings. You know, Allen Iverson, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing. He said Barry Bonds is still like the coldest baseball player out there, if not the best baseball player out there. Like, is he any worse because he doesn't have a ring? Then a couple of players backed him up and. I can't remember which player was saying something about rings, but Draymond went at him and said that's loser talk. I think he might have been talking about T-Mac. I can't remember who he was talking about. Because T-Mac did chime off on it. Because T-Mac was like, had I, which is true.
Yeah.
I believe because a lot.
He said if he went to the Lakers,
if he got a ring, and people saying not necessarily, but I could co-sign that because and T-Mac in his prime was a monster.
Yeah.
So
remember that people forget the T-Mac and Kobe debate was serious debate.
Oh yeah, back
in the early 2000s.
In the early 2000s,
it really was.
It's like give T-Mac Shaq, prime Shaq, and blah blah blah. Now. I don't like the fact that Draymond came back and said, well, that's loser talk, because my argument to Draymond would be, bruh,
I know.
Like, dude,
what have you been doing?
Yeah, like,
because he's trying to say that he's ring, or you're talking about you should have ring chased, and I get it. Draymond stayed at one team and everything, but you're not the alpha guy over there.
No, you're not. And I'm like, Draymond, you were blessed to be drafted to a team with the Splash Brothers, dude. And y'all got 4 rings. Y'all got 2 without Durant, but then y'all got 2 with Durant. And y'all might not have gotten those 2 if you didn't have Durant. So you got 4 rings. And if you would have went to any, and somebody said this years ago to him, if you were gonna play for Minnesota, you're not gonna be that dude. You exactly. Go to Detroit or something like that. You're not gonna have those rings, bruh. Right. I'm not calling Draymond a bum. Draymond is a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah. He's one of the greatest defensive players ever. I would take Rodman over him, but I'm not saying anything derogatory towards him. And some people might say I said some derogatory things about Bradley Beal. I'm not saying anything derogatory towards Bill either. I'm just saying Bill doesn't deserve to have a no trade clause. That's all I'm saying. And so the ring debate. This is how I look at it. When you step into the Hall of Fame, when you step into these rooms and everything, it's levels. It's levels to it. Allen Iverson, I'm an Iverson fan. Allen Iverson is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. He'll tell you himself, he would give up those scoring titles for a ring. You know, like he would give that up. I'm guaranteeing you, he probably would even sit here and say that if he had the chance to do it all over again, he would have took the lesser role to go to a contender and come off the bench and be on those Heat teams that won rings and everything. So he could see the confetti fly, so he could see the parade and all that. So Dan Marino the same way. These guys look like, yeah, I had a great career, but man, I would like that ring. I mean, look at how we do with Tom Brady. Right. They say he's the GOAT. Like a lot of people say, no, Joe Montana, but people say Tom Brady because he has more rings.
I think the real issue is with the ring culture, especially in basketball, is when these players start chasing for a ring and jumping the teams, multiple teams to get a ring, and it doesn't happen. When you see back, you know, a lot of players were loyal to teams and loyal to the players they were with. Especially, I would really look at the Boston team with KG and you know, Paul Pierce and Ray Allen. And you see how they treat Ray Allen now, like he's a stepchild or something, because he went to chase a ring with Miami, the team that they beat to get to the finals and win, and then he goes to the quote unquote enemy. So when people see that, and yeah, they're mad at other players chiming in that don't have a ring. You know, Shaq always clowns Charles Barkley because he doesn't have a ring, and he did try to ring chase and it didn't work.
Yeah, at the end.
But at the same time, you got Robert Ory with 7 as a role player.
Yeah.
And you have, let's say, Kobe with 5. I would take Kobe's 5 way more than,
than Ory's 7. Well, I would take Kawhi. Kawhi got 2, right? He got 2. I would take Kawhi's 2 over Ory's 7 because Ory, I mean, he was a role player. I mean, he wasn't the man. He won 2 with the Rockets. He wasn't the man there. He won because he got 7. He won what? 3. He won 3 with the Lakers, right? And then 2 with the Spurs.
Right.
So I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Robert Ory. He's a champion, but all rings aren't rated the same. Like, but Glenn Big Dog Robinson got a ring, and he was just riding the bench for San Antonio when he got that ring.
Exactly.
What's the guy named Jeremy Lin Sanity? He got a ring with Toronto.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And he was the 12th man on the bench. Right. I remember I got into an argument with an Asian dude. Like, Jeremy Lin got his ring, and Carmelo don't have one. But I was like, yes, Jeremy Lin got a ring, but he got a ring. He was riding the bench. That's all. That ain't no way. Come on now.
Yeah, not all rings are the same.
Are the same? Nah. And that's my thing against ring culture. Yeah. Is that right there.
And please keep the debate going. This is the Keep It 1 Million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
We'll be back with more sports talk and everything in between. 90.7 FM, KRDP. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll be right back.
Yes, sir.